Kendrick surprise dropped his newest album, GNX. So I listened to it to see if it's actually good. Then I ranked every song on a tier list, starting with... K-Dot's now mad after that Drake beef. He's done being Mr. Morale. Kendrick's the biggest hater, and I'm here for it. S tier. I was waiting for this track to drop since the Not Like Us music video, and it didn't disappoint. So good. S tier. I haven't heard Kendrick sound like this since Damn. Over an ethereal beat, I missed Kendrick sounding like this. And Sis is a welcome surprise addition to this track. S tier. Kendrick rapping about entering the Garden of Heaven, saying he deserves everything he's gotten so far because of all the hard work he's put into himself. And I can't say I don't agree with him. Also, Kendrick's doubling down at the end of the track, saying he's the greatest rapper of all time. A tier.
What the fuck you wearing, bro? It's khaki.
This bar made me laugh so hard. This track gets real good halfway through. Kendrick then raps back to back with Dodie 6, which is something I loved when he did it with J-Rock on WoW Freestyle, and I love it here too. A tier. Opposing Man at the Garden, Kendrick's now rapping about all the bad things in his life, such as drug addiction and being prideful. Then the second half of the song is when he calls quote-unquote Father, Heavenly Father, who calmly raps about why Kendrick was kicked out of the Garden of Heaven, explaining the bad things about him, such as his pride and him wanting peace and loving war, which I originally thought was about the Drake beef, but it can go all the way back to his Control verse. The walking contradiction of Kendrick is something he's talked about before, showing his Gemini personality, but never as in-depth as this. S tier. TV Off goes so unbelievably hard. Love the multiple flows and the beat switch. Has gotta be Mustard's new producer tag. Doc says it twice, and it's so funny both times, and it caught me so off guard. But it's nice to know how much Kendrick loves Mustard. S tier. I love Kendrick's flow on this track, but I think it's also the weakest song on the album. B tier. This song has a serious Miles influence. Peekaboo showcases why actions are better than words. So if you're enjoying this video, press that like button and let me know what your favorite song off the album is. A tier. This is what I've been waiting for. The beat gives a 90s West Coast vibe, giving props to his black hippie groupmate Absol, saying he looks up to him and raps better because of him. Then Dot raps about J-Rock, saying that if one of them makes it big, they both make it big, and that Kendrick was signed to help J-Rock make it. This song is giving everyone he worked with their flowers, including Dave Free and Mixed by Ali. Then saying how Schoolboy Q didn't initially rap, but learned from everyone he mentioned earlier, and that Q always believed in Kendrick. But now, Kendrick wants to work on the business side of PG laying. This song's message is about communicating with the people you care about, having healthy conversations instead of ruining the relationship completely when things change. S tier. After Kendrick says he made the West Coast back into the spotlight, he gives the spotlight to 3 other people Kendrick believes are up and coming from the West. While I believe this track is mostly great, I didn't like Young Threat's verse. A tier. What seems to be a track about his wife, how they met and grew together, ends up being about rapping. Rapping about how he felt disgusted by writing for a while, but once he picks up the pen again, he falls back in love with it. Both Kendrick and SZA are great on the track, and it wonderfully concludes the album. S tier. Overall, GNX is a fantastic album from Kendrick, showing his growth after Mr. Morale and the Drake beef. In case you're wondering, out of the 12 songs on this album, I rated 7 songs S tier, 4 songs A tier, 1 song B tier, no songs C tier, no songs D tier, no songs F tier. It's such a great album. What album should I rank next? Until next time, subscribe.